Welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who is currently smoking regular and menthol cigarettes. It's Nathan.
Oh, no.
Sam Rockwell, dude.
It's funny. Every time I see him, I still giggle. And actually, what's really funny is I just watched it the other day. And, dude, I never need a reason to watch this movie. I love it so much. I'll watch it any day. But during that scene when he sits there, the whole regular menthol, he doesn't even give the dude cigarettes. He walks off with both packs and just tosses one aside to someone and keeps it for himself. I was just like, wow, that wasn't,
They got to sign the papers. They got to sign the foot papers. Do they have to sign it with their feet?
You know what? that
you
could
sign
be,
up.
or, if they have a birth certificate that's already there, you get the footprint on there when you're a baby. They have that. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of rigmarole that goes along with signing up for the Underground Ninja Thief Association.
So they don't do fingerprints; they do footprints.
Apparently so. Yeah. One thing.
I like that.
One thing that was really funny is Kevin Eastman said in a bunch of interviews that he was like a big fan of Daredevil was the big thing, and the whole Foot Clan kind of was a parody from that because Daredevil thought his ninja group was the Hand.
Oh, yeah.
And so because they got these Ninja Turtles, this goofy thing, it's like, what should I name it? He's like, oh, why not the Foot? We do the Foot Clan. So it was a little play off of that.
I love the early drawings of these turtles. And so Nathan and I, we worked together for a long time in Comic-Cons. And whenever Nathan would come to work, he'd get put in Artist Alley, and we'd never see him again. So now I know why. You were stalking Eastman and all those people, man.
I don't even know if he ever was at a show that we were at.
He did a few, and I'm so not, me, man. I was so caught up with running the shows that I never said anything.
Yeah.
But after watching all this movie and doing all the research, I'm like, crap, I should have, I don't know, shook his hand. Hey, man, big fan.
Exactly.
Now let me ask you a question. How old were you when you first watched this movie?
Man, I was 5 when the movie came out, and I can guarantee that I was probably, so this came out a month after I turned 5, and I'm pretty sure that I probably watched it pretty shortly after that because the cartoon came out before the movie did.
87?
And I remember being
that's when the comics came out, right? And then
but I was really heavy into the cartoons. I loved it. Like I remember my brother and I would get into like fights and arguments about like what to watch when cartoons were coming on. I always wanted to watch Turtles. He always wanted to watch like he was 2 years older, so he was around. He was 7. He thought he was cool, so he was like, I want to watch MTV and whatever was on there, even though he wasn't allowed to watch that. But we would fight over it, and if I sang the theme song, he would get upset, and he would like chase me around the house and like all this stuff. But I still have all the toys too. Man, my kids play with them. It's great. It comes full circle. It makes me very happy.
It's kind of crazy so I was 8 when this movie came out, and my brother and I were big fans of it. But we were big fans of it in a way of it was so much different than the cartoon. I mean, this movie directed by Steve Barron was brought, Golden Harvest produced this movie. They were responsible for Fist of Fury, Enter the Dragon, like Stone Cold classics. And this movie, I mean, they shot it in North Carolina, but it's a very gritty, it's a very wet, it's a very slick. It's not a lighthearted fare. I mean, there's a lot of jokes about pizza. Michelangelo was like the jokester, but you got Raphael saying "damn" 3 times. You have him getting
I think that's one of the reasons why I really liked it when I was 5. Because I was like, ooh, they're bad. They're saying curse words.
Damn. And then
exactly, multiple times.
He gets the tar beat out of him, and then he's in the bathtub when they go to the country house, and Leonardo's kind of doing a vigil there, sleeping, waiting. And that vigil, man. I put up a thing on Movies, Films, and Flicks the other day of my favorite shots from superhero films, and that's one of them. And it felt very grounded. It felt very lived in, these 4 turtles. I thought, that the director fought hard for this tone. I mean, it was even bloodier than original, and they filmed some scenes where Shredder's right-hand man kills a foot soldier, and they added breathing. I saw that. Yeah, they added breathing later on. So I mean, this movie was not nasty. I mean, it's PG, and there's a lot of funny gags in it, but I think it respected kids. And if you think about Batman 1989. And in this film at the time, and The Crow was R-rated, but still, like, those movies, kind of Batman and TMNT, I feel like they respected kids. Does that make sense to you? They weren't pandering.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, I know there was a lot of flack when it came out because they were like, "Oh, it's too dark," or it's too adult themed. But I think that was kind of the disservice that the cartoon did because they wanted to make it so marketable that they didn't jump the shark, but they made it so goofy that by the time this movie came out and it was so, in with what the comic was, I think it surprised a lot of people. But yeah, it was really funny talking about like the scenes at the farmhouse and stuff like that. There was supposed to be a deleted scene that I just found out the other day when I was looking into this that basically Michelangelo was going to have like a nervous breakdown, or like he was so depressed that he was going to like tear into a punching bag. And like basically kind of almost like, I'm guessing probably Steve Rogers Captain America, where he's just going to town on it and he just like splits it and kind of goes into a rage. The time in the movie where everyone's like, oh, Mikey's going to be okay is when he makes the turtle wax joke.
Oh.
Yeah. They said that the original reaction that Casey and April had was one of like relief and, oh, thank goodness Mikey's back, because he just had like this depressed episode and kind of went into a rage, which I would have liked to have seen because Mikey is so lighthearted and the jokester, and just to see him, have that kind of adult moment would have been nice. I say this as an adult. The 5-year-old in me probably would have cried and be like, he's angry.
Yeah.
But what's wrong with Mikey?
I think that would have been a smart decision because the whole movie, he's so lighthearted with the pizza and ordering, and he's kind of, he's dancing while Splinter's lecturing them. And I think that would have added a different element to the character. Now, who knows if it was necessary for a PG movie, but when you get older, you see it and you're like, wow, this guy's masking his sadness with cowabunga and pizza and all. Like, it adds an element to it. But I mean, the movie was such a smash hit that I guess it didn't really matter in the long run. And I think another reason I liked it, and I wonder what you think, is when I grew up, I loved Rookie of the Year. I loved Goonies. I like Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Movies where kids were kids. Goonies, you go on an adventure. Stand By Me, go on an adventure. Rookie of the Year, a kid plays baseball, builds a boat. Sandlot, those movies like that. And in this film, you have the kids who are becoming criminals. These kids are skateboarding, playing video games, eating pizza, gambling. Like they're little thug kids. But when you see that and you're 8, you think that's so cool, don't you? Unlimited arcade games, like. I'd steal something for that.
Yeah. And what's really funny is like looking when I watched it the other night, just like, man, it's such a 90s movie too. Just seeing like how they're dressed and what they choose to do. Like, oh man, this is an underground. We can do whatever we want. What are you gonna do? You're gonna smoke cigarettes. You're gonna play video games. We're gonna skateboard and graffiti. And just like the one dude with just like the 2-foot mohawk, just like slamming on that guitar.
Yeah.
Like it was so funny. And I remember laughing at that stuff when I was a kid, and I still laugh at it now. Before I came in here to do this, my wife was asking me about it, and I said it just made me realize that this is probably in the top 3 of like my favorite movies, just because when I was a kid I loved it so much, and that hasn't changed at all. Like I'm 35 now. 3 decades have passed, and I'll watch this movie and I'll still laugh at the same jokes, get the same enjoyment out of it. And I don't know if that's just me being a nerd or just the movie. I think it's aged well, just the humor, everything that goes into it. The stunts and the action scenes are really good. Yeah. The fighting still gets you jazzed up, that final fight and everything. It's really nice.
You have Jim Henson creature effects. And to their credit, with the production design and all the work, I mean, they were able to make North Carolina look like New York City. They did an excellent job. I mean, Roy Forge Smith is the production designer on this. Art direction, Gary Wisner. Costume design, John Hay. There's not many special effects in this movie. It's grounded, and there's practical effects. So I think that helps it age well. You have these movies that are handcrafted, and I mean, look at Jurassic Park. Look at, like The Shining. Like, look at, even to a certain extent, Star Wars. Just the way that they're hand built, they hold up.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love the behind the scenes stories. I mean, those suits are 70 pounds for these guys.
Just the helmets, the headsets themselves, and the amount of animatronics that were in it, and the noise that went with everything moving. I think the gentleman that was what's his name, Josh Pais.
Yeah,
I think
Josh
it was.
Pais, yeah.
Yeah, he was Raph, and he made a comment of like it sounded like you were like it was like in Grand Central Station rush hour with a tin can on your head. Like they couldn't hear anything. It was just like really kind of miserable for them to an extent.
And when airplanes came by, it would mess with their heads. They were over like an airfield.
Yeah, the radio signals and everything. Yeah, trying to do that, they would have like small seizures and just like kind of go. Just like they had to stop for a little bit.
And that makes me really happy because I'm not going to say what movie it was, but I was working on this big budget movie and we were working by the airport and their walkie-talkies were getting into like our signal on our walkie-talkies. And I remember this major person looks at a lowly walkie-talkie PA and he goes, "Go fix it." And the PA's like, "Am I supposed to talk to the airport? Like, how am I going to fix this?"
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that PA was named Mark.
No.
Perhaps it
was not me, which I'm lucky to. I mean, I have done walkie-talkies before, and they're a nightmare. But this guy, he was like, "What am I?" And then some really smart person was like, "Just go to 5." So we the entire crew switched their channels around. But that's what I love though is that you have these movies, and this was not a big budgeted movie. I mean, it ballooned up a little bit. I mean, this was actually the most successful independent film until Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then what? Paranormal Activity beat that. Yeah. Give me $2,000. Let's make a movie for $2,000 and see if we can beat all those movies. That'd be crazy.
I think when I looked at the budget, it was like $13 million is what they got for, which I think at the time, because Batman had just came out, it was like a third of the Batman budget. And then it got like 135 million domestic or something like that. So yeah, it was a huge hit. And the other thing that I thought was very funny is, at the time, one of the most recognizable names that did it was Corey Feldman. He did the voice of Donatello. Do you know how much he got paid? You know how much they offered him?
A couple thousand, right? And he got nothing more.
It was $1,500.
Yeah.
Because they pitched it to him as an independent, like low budget, like it's not going to be a big thing.
That's
which
crazy.
I laughed out loud when I saw that number, man. It was funny.
So Tim Burton went over to England, and if you've never looked this up, just type in Batman 1989 sets, and they built like on hundreds of acres Gotham. And some of it's still standing in ruins, but they went over and so just look it up, look up the sets if you're listening to this, maybe later on. And that's why I like this Ninja Turtles movie because there are a lot of movies where, and I'm not calling them out because they're very ambitious, but maybe like Purge 2, it has a very low budget, $4 or $5 million, but I think it stretched it too far and you could tell. This movie didn't really have much of a budget, but it still looks more than a $13 million movie. And obviously there's inflation. Yeah. But this, if someone said, it's like a $40 million movie, then I would have believed it. And I mean, obviously they had like shooting at night makes it a lot cheaper. They had, they obviously couldn't shoot during the day. So shooting at night made it look cheaper. You could wet down the streets. You use less lights, stuff like that. Not as hot. But and I mean, the farmhouse is a really great touch because it kept the budget down, but it does some really great character building. There's a scene where the four of them are standing there, and they're like, "We're ready to go back." That's a really well-framed shot. I mean, that shot, like John Fenner, the guy who shot it, did a great job. And what's weird is I didn't remember that. Okay, I think I had Turtles 2 and 3 in my head.
Okay.
And then when I watched this one, I was like, I think I hate Turtles 2 and 3 now because I just remember.
I wouldn't go as far as say I still love, like, I think some of my the first movie has some of my favorite lines. I use them like on a daily basis. Like if people are going around being like just like showing, "Oh man, that was awesome, that was this," I'll come out and just be like "Bossa Nova," which there are so many, like, it's fun. The movies now that are like made more towards kids have those adult jokes in them. Yeah. And now as an adult, and I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, I appreciate that humor that the adults just go, they get that nod to. And even Turtles had that stuff, like the Bossa Nova, Chevy Nova. I didn't know what a Chevy Nova was when I was 5 years old, but now I'm just like, and at the same time, they had a couple of risque jokes in there.
Oh God.
I don't know if you, when they returned and they went back down to the sewer and Casey was with them, and they were going down and they're talking about staying the night. He's like, whoa, wait a minute. What are we talking about staying the night here? And Donnie goes, "You're a claustrophobic." Yeah. And he goes, you want a fist in the mouth? I never even looked at another guy before. And I didn't realize that up until like maybe 3 years ago. I was just like, "Oh, there's a gay joke." But it was just one of those, again, 3 decades later, and I'm still finding things about this movie that are new, that are funny, that I was like, wow, I can't believe out of all the watchings that I've had, it never clicked, until right now.
And Casey and April in the cabin, like he's giving her massages and they're all sweaty, and they're like he's calling her toots and babe and all that kind of like it pushes the PG limit, and people thought it was too violent. The toy line, remember the Toys That Made Us, the documentary, which is awesome. They didn't even make toys for this movie. That episode. Which cost them,
I know.
Dude, how many millions? Well, actually, in 90, they had the #1 animated show, #1 comic, and #1 movie. So, I mean, they weren't bad off. But imagine how much money they would have made with those toys.
And I think it would have been great because if you look at like that first wave that came out from the animated series, like they were good. Like I could grab one out of my kid's toy bin right now, and they looked good. They were functional. They looked really just fun. And as it went on, it just got so goofy that even as a kid, I was like, I don't know if I want these Hawaiian turtles.
I had them all.
We're on that. You had them all.
I did, and I had the alligator. I had the rock monster. I had the bunny. So I would clean places, and I would save up my lunch money, and then I would also get a $5 a week allowance, and that all went to turtles.
I think around that time though, when I got like 7 or 8, and I discovered the X-Men and the X-Men toys came out, that's where my money.
Those were cooler.
I love those things.
And that's when the animated show was out.
Yeah, but I think that if with how goofy like the animated line got, had they made some more grounded or darker, toys for the first one, especially with people that were already fans of the comics or more adults, they would have gotten it. It wouldn't have just been for the kids, it would have been gotten a more widespread audience, and especially collectors that may have had the first issue of Turtles or something like that. Man, I looked up right before I hopped on here. I just looked to see because the original print run of that first Turtles comic book, the #1 is only like 3,000 or like 3,500.
And that went quick, right?
And I went to see what it like a nice graded 9.8 near mint copy went for. And the one I found was in 2016 and went for $21,000.
Wow.
And the original sketch that Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird did when they were like just kind of goofing off and making it up there in 2012 went for $71,000 at auction.
Wow.
It's nuts. And just thinking about like that stuff and what it's grown into and how no one even wanted to give it a shot. It's just really, fun to see how it's, how it performed and how it's kind of stood the test of time, even though that they've, the newer ones are a little, you take them for what they were. I wasn't a big fan. There were some moments that I liked, but the last one that I really enjoyed was the animated one, animated TMNT. I love that one because there were so many throwbacks to the original movie. And, if you can get Patrick Stewart in to voice a character in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, you got to know it's a winner right away, right?
Because that was popular. Critics liked it. It did well theatrically. I think people dug it.
Fun. It still had a lot of the same dynamics that, this first movie did with the brothers and like the intense stuff between Raph and Leo. In TMNT, they had the fight on the roof, which was my favorite part of that whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like beat his brother and he didn't know how to deal with it. Like that was a big, adult moment in that movie even. So it's nice to see that, it's all goofy and cowabunga, but then those, bring it back into the reality and, this has substance to it.
I think it's about just respecting the kids. I mean, you look at the classics of the Star Wars, right? You look at Indiana Jones. I mean, even Sandlot, right? Kids, like, I think they kind of, they I don't know, they didn't pander, I guess. I mean, they did pander. I mean, there are jokes, but they're also talking about Humphrey Bogart in this movie. It's like, what? And then Casey Jones, man. I really like the arc of Casey Jones. I like that he starts, he goes and defends Raphael. They do make a joke, though, about how he is Wayne Gretzky on steroids. But Wayne Gretzky on steroids would be like 6'3", 250, and he would just rip off poor Casey Jones' head. But I liked his inclusion. I thought he felt, I don't know, the Koteas' presence. I bought him, and I did think it was a little silly at the end when 2 highly trained foot soldiers run at him and he throws 2 punches and knocks him out. But it's visual. I mean,
it's a talent. And it's a talent, Mark. Come on. He even says it.
I would be so happy. Imagine if you and I got attacked by foot soldiers, and you and I just throw 2 punches each, and we knock out 4 foot soldiers. You and I would be confused. We would be like, we would be like, is this a joke? And then
they must have been the new recruits, because if you see that last punch he did, he doesn't even like throw it out. He just kind of like lifts his hands up in that pose, and the dude just kind of runs into it and falls down. Like that first one, he like follows through, and the other one he just kind of goes, huh, but he just like throws his fist out, but doesn't like follow through, and the guy just runs into it and goes down.
Yeah, you're right. A new recruit. Maybe he got nervous. I mean, these are kids, and I thought it was pretty interesting in the beginning of the film. They wiped out an entire truck in 15 seconds. Did you see that? So I counted.
Yeah.
I want to do a data post about that, like a 47 foot soldier.
How much was in there? Yeah. What did the boxes weigh based off of what you saw beforehand?
And then stealing TVs from people and wallets. And I thought it was a pretty interesting. And I feel like when you're younger and you have those experiences and you have people who aren't really looking out for you, like Sid in the movie. Sid. Yeah.
Oh, Danny?
Yeah, Danny.
He was always wearing Sid Vicious shirt. Yeah, exactly.
But Danny's dad works all the time. He's gone. So he's just kind of out there on his own. And I could see that.
It never said anything about his mom, did it?
No.
I don't even remember it. Like, what was his dad, Charles, never said anything about my wife is this, or he may have, but yeah, they never once mentioned. So like, is he like a single parent? Like, what happened to,
Exactly.
That whole thing. That's a good point.
You kind of buy into that kid maybe falling in with Shredder, and Shredder uses that whole dialogue of, which can be absolutely used as manipulation of, we're a family. We look out for you. I give you menthol cigarettes.
The outside world rejected you. You can have McDonald's whenever you want.
Yeah.
Skateboard? Hell yeah.
But you got to go steal for me.
Kids, especially teenagers at that time, when if someone's like, I can give you all this, and there are no consequences, and you have this big group that's going to look out for you and protect you, I mean, yeah, who wouldn't want to, potentially jump at that, especially someone whose parents, arguably don't really give a crap about what's going on, whether it be because of job or otherwise.
And I also like their big fight scene. So after they beat up Raphael, the foot soldiers, they attack with their fists, and then they get axes. There's an axe foot soldier who carries axes around. Whose job is that? And they're out in the open. So is there a foot soldier running around with 20 axes? Like, how does this work? Explain it to me.
I want to go back and see how many foot soldiers showed up for that like, antique store fight, because they just keep coming in. Yeah. So there are ones that are on the roof, and then, they're beating the crap out of Raph, and then just like when he's like, come on, how are you guys going to beat me? And then they're like all of a sudden 30 more getting to the roof. And it's broad daylight at that point, so someone had to have seen them. And then when they throw Raph down, then how many jump into April's apartment? And then beyond that, when they fall through the floor, there are already how many waiting for them? And then they just keep going. But you're telling me no one saw like a dude, like, did they take a van to get there? Did they take the sewers? Like, was it a big school bus and they just like, they're unloading like, this big thing of axes out of there?
Did he drop some on the way in? Yeah.
He gets up to the second flight of stairs and trips, and they just tang, go all down the stairs. That'd be great.
He has one short.
Kind of gives away the element of surprise. Yeah.
I mean, it's like when he's climbing up in the sewers, is he handing them one at a time? Like, it's just. I just love that scene, but I also think as an action scene it works because it works its way from the top to the bottom. Raphael's on the roof, gets thrown into the second floor. They start trying to axe the turtles. They miss. More jump in. It goes to the antique store. So whoever wrote it, I mean, I know that Golden Harvest did it, and Fists of Fury right now is free on Tubi. Right now, it's one of the greatest martial arts films ever made. So I think they choreographed some pretty excellent fight, most excellent.
Yeah,
fights.
And even for the fact that they had to do all that stuff in those gigantic suits, I think I saw something that they slowed the film rate down a little bit, they sped it up so they could go slower to actually get everything.
Yeah, they sped it up.
Yeah, that's what it was. But
it's crazy, and I think that's another reason why it was just a fun picture. Good movie. Yeah. It worked out well.
How talented of a tracker or navigator do you think Casey Jones had to have been to see that building from so far away? Like, he had those like big old binoculars. He's like, I know where that is. That's over at 6th and Main. And he finds the building and like knows exactly where they are, And the other thing, like Casey Jones, I think that's why a lot of people dug that character, is because he's just like the big, jock. He's got baseball bats, he's got a hockey stick, he's got all this stuff, and he shows up to fight, supposedly, trained ninjas with all these skills that are beating the crap out of these turtles, and he shows up and just starts like meleeing and like haymakering and like taking them all out. I was like, really? This guy's gonna come in and, clean house?
And it's pretty brilliant too, and it sets him up well. Because at first you think, is this guy maybe an antagonist? Is he just a kind of pain in the butt?
Did he show up to like finish the fight with Raphael? It's like, there's that guy, I'm gonna go show him what's up. Yeah. And then he shows up to, help out. Was that his intention to begin with, or is he just trying to, show off in front of the pretty lady?
He read the room.
Yeah, right.
I was gonna beat up the turtle, but these guys look pretty slippery here, so I'm gonna fight.
It's not a challenge anymore. He got the shit kicked out of him.
But I love that he ran in there. I love that he kind of put himself in the line, and I like that you just brought up April, played by Judith Hoag. I really like her in this movie because I liked her interaction with the chief. How long will it take me to get kicked out by the police chief?
Yeah, dude, she was a strong character. Like, she was no nonsense. Like, I know what's going on. I'm gonna push the thing. Even in that first interview, when she was calling him out on his BS.
Yep.
When are you what about this thing? Oh, that's just blah blah blah. Are you denying that? Just like coming right back at him, like trying to get that answer. She's a really good character in this. To be a female, one of the only females in the movie.
And when she gets cornered in the subway, she just starts wailing on him with her like she's trying to fight. But that's cool though, man. Like, I like that. In some movies, I think people just give up, or they yell, or they, damsels in distress. Like, she tries to,
they could have very well had her like take the hit and go down, and she's like, oh no, please don't, and then Raph shows up. But yeah, she tried to fight back, and again, no nonsense, bring it on.
And she so sometimes purse strikes are kind of wimpy, like they're comical, but I felt hurt by the purse strike she was throwing. Like, that was a club.
That was a big bag. That was a big bag. And if she could fit, like, that sigh was not small. When she takes it out, you see how like big it was. Uh-huh. She had that in there. But like, what else was in that bag? Like, if she's going from job to job in New York, and she's got to have some sort of like, an extra microphone, maybe some cords, like some heavy stuff in there. That had to have packed a bit of a wallop.
Some forearms of these foot soldiers are going to be bruised.
Yeah. The shoulders right below the head.
And before we go on break, I just want one thing for you. I think I picked up on a plot hole in this movie.
Oh,
so I want to run it by. So there's a scene where the turtles first strike, and they use their ninjutsu secrecy. And they beat up all the guys, but Sam Rockwell's one of them, and he's tied up.
Yeah.
But then later on, he's just back. Does a foot soldier have like bail bonds? Right? Because he gets arrested.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, everyone's in there, but then he's back. My guess is, they're connected somehow. Like, because even if you look at like, not to get too much into the sequels, but Secret of the Ooze, there was the one foot soldier that worked with April, and so they at some point have to have like a couple people planted in certain positions, whether they be teams or otherwise, to maybe fudge paperwork. Or, or maybe they just like intercepted the car on the way to the police station and got him out. Yeah.
I want to know I just want to see them going to jail, then getting bailed out by a foot soldier, going to a bail bondsman.
If you ever interview Sam Rockwell for any reason, you'll have to ask him what happened to his character.
He'd punch me. He's like, are you asking me what happened in 1990 about me getting arrested? Like, yeah. Come on, man.
Exactly. The people want to know. Give the people what they want.
You know what? I'm going to call him right now. I'm going to call him right now. And when we come back from break, I will have an answer. We'll be right back. We'll talk more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I greatly await that.
All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And I have a question for you, Nathan.
Bring it on.
How adorable is little baby Splinter? Little training in a cage, mimicking his master, and just doing adorable
man. I've never. I've seen rats, stand up on their back feet a couple times, but for the extent that he did, like his quads just have to be huge from the amount of like bearing his weight up. He could have kicked that cage door open, and he probably had a bunch of restraint to not escape and just try to tackle his master and get him, throwing some judo moves and stuff. What the people are wondering, did Rockwell answer? What was the answer to the question?
Bail bondsman.
Bail bondsman. All right. Well, There we go. Now we know.
Yeah. Which is kind of, so they had a familiar. Vampires and Blade have familiars.
There you go.
The foot, they have familiars. And so the foot, you can tell by their they never wear socks, and there's a tattoo right on the top of their foot.
Does he have a footprint tattoo like on the inside of his lip?
Yes.
like Reedus did in Blade 2.
His name
That's
is
how he
Scud.
shows people.
His name
or
is
it's like
Scud.
in Michael B. Jordan and Black Panther. He's just got it on the inside. The Wakandans have it on the inside of their lip.
Oh, that's amazing. Just a little footprint in there. I want to be the tattoo guy who does this. All right, now another question for you.
Yeah.
You're a foot soldier. You're engaged in a life or death battle with 4 turtles that are just wiping the floor with you guys. Everyone's watching. A turtle takes a mouthful of water and spits it in your eye, and you react like it's acid, and you fall on the ground, and you writhe in pain. Later on, when all the other foot guys who are legitimately beat up are making fun of you, what do you say?
Man, that fish tank was pretty dirty. If you go back and look at it, there are probably like some algae and stuff in there, and he could be allergic. I don't know what's the equivalent of being lactose intolerant for water.
That's a rough life.
Wet toast intolerant.
Is he an alien from Signs?
Or what was it? Was it Alien Nation? Was that the one where they couldn't touch water or something like that?
Signs, right?
Was it? Oh, it was Signs. Yeah,
swing away,
yeah.
Meryl.
Oh my god.
Maybe he's an alien that infiltrated the foot.
There you go.
And then he just got found out.
I like it. I'll buy it. That's why he never takes the mask off. Otherwise, they'll know. He's just permanently in that mask.
I just love that scene. I mean, but there's also enough cheeky moments. So during the fight scenes, they're being spun around in circles. They're not
fortune, dude. Yeah, man. I love it.
I mean, they're just having fun with it, I guess. They're not trying to kill anybody. They almost treat it lightly. But I think that's part of their journey as well, is how lightly they take it. And I think that sort of culminates in the final battle where they get their butts handed to them in that final battle.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's Splinter who uses he's kind of sneaky. Like he kind of sneaks up on him. He goads him and he makes Shredder make a mistake. And so I think.
And I was thinking about that when I was watching this last time is like, the whole like ninja and, harnessing your emotion and, your mind and your body and being one doing all that. And Splinter, when he's talking to Raph, was talking about, kind of his emotions getting the better of him and his anger, trying to harness his anger, do something with it. And in that final fight, if you look at kind of their mistakes, it's because their emotions get in the way.
Yes.
When they kind of, after Leo, who's the only one that gets a hit on Shredder, in that whole fight, with his katana, once they like step back and take a breather and they're talking about Splinter and he says that he's dead, Leo loses his mind and just like rushes him. And then that's what kind of gets him to the point where he could be, he could be killed. And the same thing happens with Shredder when he's all like high and mighty and ha ha ha, I'm going to win the day. Splinter shows up. And as soon as he starts talking about, Amato Yoshi and he realizes that's the same rat, and he just does the same thing. He bum rushes him, and that was his mistake. Once the emotions get in, it kind of messes up their groove.
There's storytelling to these fights. I mean, these guys are young, they're impulsive, they don't know the world. And I think that costs them. And I think it's pretty cool. I think there's this weird. So this movie has a Rotten Tomato meter score, and I think a lot of people view it. It just boggles my mind. Like I just wonder, I guess, what people were watching or what they thought they were watching. Yeah. And Roger Ebert talked about this movie, and he basically just talked about how grimy it was. But I kind of they lived in the sewers in New York in the 80s.
They're not going to be coming out in broad daylight. Like, it's going to be dark. It's going to be, wet and everything else. It's like, when was the last time you saw, like, a really polished, like, super clean turtle?
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. I guess I've never looked at him that close. But I also like the sweat on Splinter when Splinter's tied up. And he's just sweating. And he looks just gross. I think there are some, like Jim Henson kind of knocked these designs out the park. And it's a bummer that he felt that the movie was too violent.
Yeah. Well, when you're coming from Muppets and everything else, and even Labyrinth and, Dark Crystal had some kind of dark stuff to it, but there was no real, kicking people in the face or doing that. So maybe just the acts of violence themselves and the fighting is what drove him. But, I don't know. Did you know that this was the last movie that he was associated with before he passed with Turtles?
That's sad. Well, you know what though? These Turtles, I don't care, man. They hold up today. They look beautiful.
Oh yeah. It's a shame that the suits and everything else kind of deteriorated or got more goofy, kind of like the toy line did as the movies went on. Like the second one, like they still looked all right, and they tried to fancify them up and give them more details and everything, and just like the giant eyes. And by the time the third one got around, it was almost farcical with how they looked.
Most certainly. And you know what else I think I mean, do you think they just? But that was a decision by the Playline, right, in the studio to make it more kid friendly.
Yeah,
and then they became less successful.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an interesting dynamic, I guess, if you look at that. I don't know. You look at the highest grossing movies. I feel like. So I was looking at this today. The 6 highest grossing summer movies of all time are the 3 original Star Wars, E.T., Jaws, and another Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. So some of those were rated PG-13, but those for the most part are violent but kid-friendly flicks. But they're
and again, you have the wide range of people that it appeals to. I mean, yeah, there are going to be kids who are like, dinosaurs. But there are also going to be the adults that are like, oh, dinosaurs are going to like bite someone in half. Yeah. Like, I'm going to go see that, or just,
do it on the toilet and destroy Newman.
When you got to go, you got to go. Oh, man. Newman. Poor Newman. That's what he gets. Poor Sam Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see his demise. You just see the one arm that's left over.
That's kind of funny. The big storm in Hawaii blew everything away, so they couldn't do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, did you not know that? The reason they couldn't film it? Yeah, so they had a massive hurricane hit, and it destroyed set, so they didn't have time to film his scene. So then they just had an arm fall on Laura Dern.
That was funny. I remember when I was a kid and I watched that first couple times, I had forgotten that he had left to go there. So by the time there was an arm, and he was like, "Oh, Mr. Blah," I was just like, "Where did that arm come from?" 9-year-old me is just baffled and aghast. I was like, "There's just an arm now."
I was watching Jaws, and he almost replayed the same gap. So in Jaws, which obviously came first, 75, Richard Dreyfuss comes across the decapitated head and he's shocked. And this one, Laura Dern gets the arm and she's shocked. And then later on in Jaws, there's a leg that floats to the bottom of the thing. So I wonder, I think he just learned what was effective in that Spielberg. But yeah, now I wonder if he went back to that same playbook. I don't know.
Dismembered body parts. Yeah.
They're going full, the MCU had a ton of those, and Star Wars. So many hands were lost in the Star Wars universe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you had full limbs going off. You had,
Hoth Wagner.
Yeah.
That poor thing, man. It's just doing its thing, and then Luke kills it.
I mean, if it's comes down to this poor creature, it's going to eat me, or you're going to lose an arm. And I guess you're going to lose an arm.
Did you know in the process of the movie, the director and one of the producers, they stopped having director's cut, and they came back in, like Golden Harvest and other people, New Line came back in, and they added more martial arts and other different. Did you know that they added more wide shots?
No. I know that there were a couple things like we mentioned the fight at the beginning, or they're not the fight, but when they used their shadow skills to beat everyone up, that was they didn't have time to fight to film that scene. They were like cutting it so close, so they were like, okay, we don't have time to do it. Let's just it'll be in the dark, it'll be fine. So they didn't have time to choreograph and film that whole thing. So that's why their first outing is so not necessarily brutal, but so quick and uncontested, is because they were just like, well, we'll just do this.
and it's smart too, because it shows that they showed what Splinter taught them, and they kind of did it. But it's also economical. Yeah. I mean, that's just the way you got to do it. And you know what else I found out? Quentin Tarantino's editor, Sally Menke, she edited this film.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
And then she went on like Pulp Fiction, and just. Like, this is a sick editor on this movie, man.
Yeah, like, there are a lot of little nuggets that I saw trivia-wise in here. Going back to Judith Hoag, which I think it's great. Like, I still think that she was phenomenal as April. But I don't remember her coming up in anything else from like Turtles until I think I was in college, and she showed up in like Halloween Town or something like that for Disney. But she's been getting in a lot more stuff, just like going through and looking at her like even IMDb page. She was in Nashville. She was in The Magicians. She was Alice's mom.
The Magicians?
She was Alice's mom.
Really?
Yes, where just the drunk that was just like hated Alice.
I miss that show.
I love it so much, and I wasn't able to watch the final season. I'll have to wait for it on Netflix. But yeah, that show was the one that I think was my favorite and the most surprising out of anyone's come up. And I don't know why, if it's just like the stigma with the Sci-Fi Channel. They were just like, oh, a sci-fi show, it's going to be campy, it's going to be this. Man, it was good. I was so surprised. I love that show.
I love in the final episode. No, I'm joking.
Don't do that. But no, Judith, but when this was getting ready to be in production or right before they started, when she got cast, she was working on Cadillac Man with Robin Williams, and he was actually the one to give her a lot of info about her character, because he was a big fan and had a big comic book collection. So he kind of not necessarily mentored her, but kind of gave her a lot of tips and tricks for, you know, what to expect or what to kind of embody with April, which I thought was really funny.
And she didn't want to wear that orange jumpsuit, so they put
would?
Or yellow. Yellow?
Yeah.
Yellow.
She got the rain jacket. That was enough of a throwback. That's all we needed. Jumpsuits aren't very practical.
Doesn't Paige Tarico, doesn't she get in that jumpsuit in the second one? And then...
I think it's more of like, it's not a jumpsuit, but what are they called? It was almost like a business, like casual, like bodysuit, or like a power suit, like a female power suit or something like that.
Yeah, I did not know that. I thought it was Paige the whole way through. So when Judith popped up, I'm like, who's she? I totally
She didn't
forgot.
want to come back.
What?
Yeah, she didn't want to come back for the second one. And I think it was because she disagreed with the violence too. Yeah.
It's kind of interesting that everyone did that. And I found out something interesting, though. The cinematographer, John Fenner, he worked on Superman. He was a lighting technician, and The Shining. You work with Stanley Kubrick, right? You work with Stanley Kubrick, and you're going to know your stuff. Like, you're going to know exactly what it is. And after this movie, he went and shot The Muppet Christmas Carol. I mean, that's a really great-looking film. Like, I dig the look of that. And he also, he worked with Jim Henson a lot. He did Muppet Treasure Island. But I don't know, man. I thought that they framed this really well. Making a Scene, the artist that we used to work with, and he does the scenes from Jim.
Oh, Jim Ferguson.
Yeah, Jim Ferguson.
I love Jim.
Yeah, I mean, I loved his all of his TMNT work. And he said they sold really well, the picture of Leonardo right there.
Well, he did that one, but they also had the one where they're all around the fire and they're meditating and they like kind of summon the spirit of Splinter and he's in that blue flame. I was actually on his website the other day, Jim Ferguson, makingascene.com, if anyone wants to check out some really fun movie stills.
You got me one, Rocky IV.
Yeah. But I can guarantee if there's like you have a favorite movie, you're like, oh man, I love this thing, you'll find it on Jim's website. He's very talented. But I was looking at it the other day, looking for that one because I want it for my son's room. Because again, since I'm watching Turtles and they're watching it, he's starting to get into the Turtles. And I'm just like, yes, one of us.
He redid his Jaws drawings. You know that?
He did.
And I bought his originals, so now I see his new ones, and I'm like, I want the new ones, but I don't.
He redid his Goonies Chunk with the blender. He redid that one too, because he did that one in like 2010, and he's gotten a lot better with detailing, proficient in his artwork. So he's redoing some of those ones he first did, and yeah, man, they look great. He just did an Apollo 13. Ooh. He did
those NASA guys.
Evil Dead 2. He did an Evil Dead 2.
Wow.
With Ash has the head and the vice grip, and he's got the chainsaw coming at it. So yeah, talk about like if there's a movie you want like a still like artwork picture from, put up in your living room or something. You'll find it on Jim's website.
And he did not pay us for this, but Jim Ferguson.
Not at all. He's just a great guy, and I want to throw him out, give him some kudos.
Now, do you think it's kind of cheesy that he didn't give that driver an extra? He took the money away from that guy, and he didn't give the guy a tip, the Domino's delivery guy.
Do you know who that was?
Yeah, it was one of the characters, right? It was one of the.
It was one of the guys in the suits. Yeah, I think it was Donatello.
And Josh Pais was in the cab as well. They all have little.
Yeah, Josh Pais was the guy in the cab. Donatello, it was either Donatello or Michelangelo was the pizza delivery dude. The foot soldier that approached April was, I think, Leo.
Yep, it was.
And then. Yeah, and then there was another guy that was like one of the thugs in when Casey's fighting Tatsu or something like that. So I love that they got their own little moment in there out of the suit.
And Skeet Ulrich and Scott Wolf are little thugs too in this movie. Did you know that?
Really? No, I think Skeet Ulrich was in there. That's hilarious.
Is it bad though that he took that money away from him when he lives underground?
I mean, he was 2 minutes late. So if you're going to say 30 minutes or less, then, expect to suffer the consequences. 122 and an eighth be damned.
Right.
One thing, speaking of people showing up with a Skeet Ulrich or whatever, one thing that I found that was super funny to me is and I don't know if these are true or not, but there were the potential castings the people that I saw that were in the runnings to be Casey Jones. I don't know if you saw any of these, but I got a list for you. So, and again, this is 1990. So, potentials for Casey Jones. We had Johnny Depp. We had Keanu Reeves, Christian Slater. This next one, I don't know, was Lou Diamond Phillips.
Hey, LDP.
Yeah, Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Jason Patrick, wow. Brian Austin Green, Alex Winter, Gary Daniels, and River Phoenix.
I think Elias Koteas is so grimy that he pulls it off.
I love him, man.
He pulls off Casey Jones.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of. I think all those guys would have been fine, but I actually believe him when he's working on a car. I believe him when he knocks out a foot soldier with one punch. I believe him that he would call April O'Neil Toots and Babe. There's an authenticity to him, which fits perfectly within the film.
When he kind of infiltrates the Foot Clan and he knocks that dude out and gets his thing, he almost high fives himself, where he's just like that. Yeah, get it, Casey. He's so proud of himself.
Wait, when he knocks out Tatsu, doesn't he hit him in the face with a golf club?
He gets either, I think it's a driver or a wood or something like that, because he's getting the crap kicked out of him, and he gets knocked over into the big pile of boxes. And what does he find? Lo and behold, what sporting equipment? Golf club. And when he grabs it, he shoves it into his stomach, which I don't know how much, is that more the club or his fist just hitting Tatsu in the stomach?
Yeah.
And then, as he's doubled over in pain, he just clocks him in the head.
Your teeth are chiclets after that.
They're exploded. He's concussed after that. He's at least got a concussion.
I mean, that's quite violent. I mean, Home Alone was violent, but that's quite violent for a PG movie. A dude hitting another dude with a golf club.
Yeah, then he threatens Sam Rockwell with a 3-iron. What are we standing here for? Let's get him.
And I like when Sam Rockwell looks at all the people around him. They're like, "You got it." No one backs him up.
We got a loyalty to the shredder. What an accent. Yeah. I don't know if this was Sam Rockwell's first gig or if he just thought he nailed that, where it's just
in North Carolina pulling off a New York accent.
Yeah.
I love it though. Hey, so any final thoughts about this movie before we get out of here? I just want to see give me something we haven't covered. Is there anything we haven't covered? Is there something you love about this movie?
I love everything out of this movie. I could talk so much more about it. I would say, I know you like to end things with questions on what to do it. I was trying to rack my brain, if the Turtles just were created today and the movie was trying to get made, who would you cast in the roles of the Turtles?
So it'd probably be voice work, correct?
Yeah, who could you see voicing some of the Turtles?
Jeez Louise, man.
It's tough. I know. I had a little bit to think about it beforehand, and I only got 3 names down. Or who would you cast as April? Who would you cast as Shredder? A couple voices I put down because he's everywhere now and because of MCU, you got to have Tom Holland in it, right?
Wow.
You got to have Tom Holland in it. I see him being either Mikey or Donnie.
Yep. Tom Holland. That'd be perfect.
What was another one? I loved Jake Johnson so much in Spider-Verse that you got to have him in it somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Got to have Jake Johnson. His voice work is so good. Could you have Chris Evans as... Could you just do the voice cast of Spider-Man? So just Miles, the 2 Spider-Man, and Nick Cage.
Oh, God.
Nick Cage as Casey Jones.
Oh, my gosh. I think that'd be too nuts to put on screen.
Yeah.
No, I don't know,
And don't have so April O'Neil. Who would be a great April O'Neil?
I put down Emma Stone. I think she could pull off April pretty well.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, all right, you cast it. You did it.
I
know they brought in Johnny Knoxville to voice one of the Turtles, and I thought that was really
Leonardo
good.
For Nickelodeon. It was Leonardo.
That works.
Jackass in the leadership role. Who would you put as Raph?
All right, so Raph is kind of sassy. He's kind of sarcastic, right?
He's the tough one. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So who's in their 20s that could play a sassy, sarcastic,
angry?
Oh man, you're dropping some. All right.
It's tough, right?
John Boyega. Could he be sassy?
I could see him being Leo.
Yeah, he'd be a good Leo.
Yeah, I could see him being Leo.
Jake Johnson? Is Jake Johnson too old to voice Raphael?
I don't know. You gotta have something that's kind of throaty, kind of gritty in that too. What would be and they don't have to be super young necessarily. If they're just doing the voice work. I mean, what do you think of Seth Rogen doing like Raphael?
No. No, here's the thing. I like him a lot as an actor. I just see it like too jokey. I want someone to really take it seriously. Does that and I'm not saying he wouldn't. I don't know.
I'm just thinking of like recognizable voices. As soon as you hear him speak, you're like, oh, that's that person.
Yeah. I mean, listen, put Seth Rogen in there as Tatsu.
Have Nick Cage club him with the driver.
What about like Jake Gyllenhaal or Michael Pena?
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal could be a sassy guy.
Yeah, he can get some rage out there.
There it is. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I think I like it. Who would you cast as Shredder?
Oh, let's see. Henry Golding. I like him a lot. Iko Uwais from The Raid.
I would say this just because I watched Wu Assassins the other month. Byron Mann.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be really good.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, he'd be really good. He's got that like snarky, like I'm better than you stuff. He can handle himself in some choreography.
He should have been Iron Fist. Isn't that what people said? That Byron Mann?
Not Byron Mann. That was Louis Tan.
Oh, Louis Tan.
Who was in Iron Fist. He was like the whole like drunken master dude.
Byron Mann's uncle. Uncle Six.
Yeah. Uncle Six.
Nah, I say put Louis Tan. Louis Tan. Yeah, put Louis Tan because he's big.
Yeah.
He's like a 6-footer.
I was thinking about just getting some age on Shredder since he's supposed to be older.
Yeah. Well, you did it perfect. Uncle Six. I love that guy. No, let's just do the Wu Assassins cast. Let's bring in, she's a badass too.
Oh, what's Vikings. Her name? Yeah.
Catherine Winnick, and she's a martial artist. You know, she was
there you go.
She was a professional martial artist.
Oh, was she? I didn't know that.
Oh, dude, look up her credentials. She crushes people. There's a scene in Vikings where she's stabbing people with one arm and hitting people with a decapitated head with the other.
If anything says Vikings, it's what you just described right there.
I think we just cast the dream thing here.
I think so. We got it. Yeah, we just need a Splinter.
All right, Splinter.
Jackie Chan. Done.
That was my first thought because he's already been a great mentor in the Karate Kid movie, right?
He can do like, you know, the goofy stuff off the wall with like any movie he's in, but he can also do the serious stuff. Did you watch The Foreigner?
No, I gotta watch that. It's on Netflix. I gotta see it.
Man, it was good. Yeah, we should get off this and you should watch that tonight.
All right, see you later.
That movie, damn. Man, we're done.
Yeah, no, that guy Martin Campbell, he also directed Goldeneye and Casino Royale and Mask of Zorro. So I mean, he's quality behind the camera.
Did you know that one of the stuntmen, one of the dudes in the suit, did a lot of stunt work on a bunch of Bond films?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was actually Leo. He did a bunch of stuff. He was in Last Jedi, Rogue One, 47 Ronin, Skyfall. He has a lot of stunt work under his belt.
I'm gonna look something up real quick. I'm gonna look up a Ernie Reyes Jr. Let's do a quick. I'm gonna see if he has a bunch of roles. Let's do a Ernie Reyes Jr. draft.
Oh, jeez.
So 5 movies each from Ernie Reyes.
Oh, jeez. All right.
So he's been. He could do it. He's popped up in a bunch of movies.
Okay, so I was gonna say he's probably had little things here and there.
All right, since you are the, I'll let you go first.
Oh, geez. Well, I gotta do Secret of the Ooze.
Oh yeah.
Get Kino in there.
All right, so you're doing TMNT too?
I gotta.
All right, I don't want you taking it, but if you take one, I'm taking Surf Ninjas because he starred in that.
That was gonna come. Yeah, that was gonna come right back.
I want his starring role. I know what you're gonna pick next. I might as well just write it down.
Was that Rundown?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
I knew it. I was writing it down as you said it, and I knew that was the smart pick, but I'm like, let's do this. Oh, he's in Rush Hour 2. That's a great one.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'll take Rush Hour 2.
Oh, my goodness. I forgot he was in that. Holy crap, Red Sonja.
Oh, I'm done. You crushed me here. All right, so let's see. I got to somehow pick something here. I had to do it, man. I had to do Surf Ninjas.
Oh, that's fine, man.
Oh, dude, he's in The Last Dragon. I'm doing The Last Dragon.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, geez. Pool Hall Junkies.
He's in Pool Hall Junkies?
Yep.
All right. I like that. All right, so let's see. Now I got to find one here.
I think we're getting to like the bare minimum of Ernie Reyes Jr. movies now.
Yeah. Maybe this will get him more roles.
One can only hope. He shows up at Comic-Cons every once in a while. He was at one in San Antonio a couple years ago, and I think he might actually live in Austin. Now that I think about it, I think he has a dojo in Austin.
You know what? I'll do Jeremy Renner? I'm going to take Paper Dragons.
Okay.
Jeremy Renner's in it.
Interesting.
All right. So who's your next one?
Oh, geez. You know, I got to say this. Apparently he was in an episode of Charmed.
I'll give you
that.
So
I'm gonna take that.
Oh, so I get a TV show. Awesome.
Go for it.
All right. He's in MacGyver.
We're scraping the bottom of the bucket of Ernie Reyes Jr. appearances. We got to throw in some TV shows.
He's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
There you go.
Oh, he's in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Soul? I won't add that.
I saw it and skimmed immediately past it.
Yeah,
I don't want that anywhere on my list.
All right, let's see. Sidekicks? What's that?
Sidekicks.
Was he a main character?
Was that?
He was a main character.
That was oh God, what was the kid's name? He was in oh my goodness, it was a Chuck Norris movie.
I'm doing Sidekicks.
Do Sidekicks, show. Yeah. Oh, TV show. I'm thinking of a movie.
Yeah, there was a movie called Sidekicks.
Yeah, there was a movie with Chuck Norris, and the kid thought like he would imagine himself as like Chuck Norris was his friend, and he would give him like all these like tips and tricks and like encouragement. And I can see the kid's face. He was in the second Neverending Story, but his name's escaping me.
Yeah. Yada yada.
Yeah.
Jonathan Brandis?
That could have been it. I think that was it. Yeah.
You're gonna crush me here, dude. This is 80. So go to Movie Films and Flicks Facebook to vote on it. All right. So you'll find us. We do a ton of fun polls. You'll love us. Find there. You can. Well, I'll run this poll by then, but you'll just see a ton of other ones. And just message me if you want.
Try to redeem Mark because I beat him in our dance-off contest last time, so I'm 1-0.
Yeah, you crushed me in dance-off, and now, so if you want to know who won this, just message me after you listen to this. Be like, hey, Mark, who won? And I'll tell you that Nathan won because there's no way I'm winning. But I had to go with Surf Ninjas. I had to.
The Surf Ninjas love, is gonna get you some credibility on that.
I mean, he starred in it. Like that was his starring role.
Like, oh yeah, wasn't that the like magical Game Gear?
Yeah.
Or something.
Sweet.
Where like whatever you did on the Game Gear happened in real life.
Awesome.
Like his younger brother had or something.
Oh, dude, I love it.
That movie's nuts.
All right, so thank you for joining me, man. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for Nathan, menthol and regular cigarette. Hey, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.